All right, today we're looking at odds versus probability. These are similar, but a little bit difference in it. Odds versus probabilities. All right, in probability of an event is the number of desired divided by the total number, or what's favorable versus the total. In other words, if you have a die, okay, here's a die, okay, and we roll this die. What's the probability that we get a 4? Well, there's one favorable, there's only one 4, and there's 6 total. That'd be 1/6. What's the probability that you get something that's greater than 3? All right, that means you could have a 4, a 5, or a 6. There's 3 of those that are favorable out of 6 total, and that simplifies to 1/2. Okay, odds are a little bit different. The odds of an event are what's favorable versus what's unfavorable. All right, so if you look at that same cube here, okay? Okay, what's the odds that I get a 4? Okay, what's the odds that I get a 4? All right, there's one 4, okay, that's what's favorable, but what's unfavorable, well, there's 5 that are not 4. So this would be 1 to 5 odds. Or like we did a while ago, what's the odds? What's the odds that you get something greater than 3? Okay. Well, again, there's 4, 5, or 6. There's 3 of them that are greater than 3 versus 3 that are not greater than 3. There's 3 favorable, but there's 3 that are not favorable. See, 1, 2, and 3 are not greater than 3. So there's 3 that are not. 3 that are, 3 that are not. So these are 3 3s, which simplifies 1 to 1 odds. So you have an even chance, 1 to 1. Okay. Converting probabilities to odds is pretty simple. Here's the probability event is 2/3. All right, this is what's favorable, okay, and this is the total. All right, so if I convert that to odds, there's 2 favorable, and if I subtract these, since there's 3 total and there's 2 favorable, 3 minus 2 would be 1. That means there's 1 that's not favorable, and these would be my odds. So like right here, there's 5 favorable. Since there's 11 total, if I subtract those, there's 6 that are not favorable. Right here on this one, 4/7, 4 favorable. 4 subtract from 7 is 3, 3 not favorable. And then one last one here, 2/9. 2 favorable, and 9 minus 2 is 7 that are not favorable. And that's how you convert probabilities to odds. You just got to remember, this bottom number on probabilities is total. So if there's 2 favorable, if I subtract those, it means there's 7 that are not favorable. Okay? Now what if you have odds and you want to convert them to probabilities? Okay, so the probability of this event is going to be, well, this is what's favorable now, and this is not favorable. All right, so that means we have 3 favorable, and then I do 3 plus 2, which is 5. There's 5 total. This is a 3/5 probability. So on this one, the probability of this event, 5 over 5 plus 7 would be 12. Okay, here's 2 more. What would this one be, you think? Huh? What do you think that would be? Have you figured it out? Did you have 4/9? That'd be it. 4 is favorable, and if I add these together, 9 total. What about this one? Can you figure that one out? 1/8. There's 1 favorable, and then together there's 8 total. Okay? A lot of times you see odds like in betting, sports betting, horse races, different things, you have odds. Now, you have to remember though, these are odds against. These are odds against this team. Like right here, Kansas City Chiefs have the best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. 5 to 1 odds. Now this was at the beginning, before the season started this year. They have 5 to 1 odds against them winning. That means the odds for them to win would be opposite, would be 1 to 5, which means they have a 1 favorable and 6 total. They have a 1/6 chance of winning Super Bowl. Now my team's the Steelers. Here's my team right there. So the odds against them winning is 25 to 1. That means the odds for them to win would be the reverse, 1 to 25. And if I convert that to a probability, there's 1 favorable and there's 26 total. That'd be 1 over 26. That's their probability to win the Super Bowl this year. Now there's 3 teams on here that have the worst odds. Jacksonville, Washington, and Cincinnati. They're all 200 to 1. That's odds against, which means if I reverse those 1 to 200, that's the odds for them to win. Which 1 favorable and then 200 plus 1 be 201 total. That's their probability. Okay. Now let's find some of these odds ourselves. Okay, so here's a table here that gives the number of workers in thousands by industry for the United States. So we have agriculture, forestry, fishing, hunting, 2,522 thousands. Manufacturing, you see all the different segments of workers in industry. All right, if one worker is chosen at random, find the odds that the worker is in services. All right, so we look at services. Services right here. So that'd be 1, 2, 2, 5, 2, 1. That's what's favorable. All right, now what's unfavorable? Well, I've got to take these right here. These are not favorable because they're not services. So I need to add those up. So 2522 plus 16438 plus 10852. Add those up, and what does it come out to? 29,812. Okay, now I always want to divide those down, see if they simplify. So I'm just going to go 122,521 divide by 29812, and then see if it divides down, and it doesn't. See, it won't divide it down. So that's my answer right there. Okay. What about this one? If one worker is chosen at random, find the odds that the worker is in mining, quarrying, oil, and gas. All right, so that's this one here. So what's the odds are in that? All right, so that's what's favorable, 10,852. What's unfavorable? Well, I've got to add these other ones up. So let me add those up. 122,521 plus 16438 plus 2522. Add those up and I get 141481. And of course I want to divide them down, but I don't think they're going to divide down none on this one. Okay, now here's number 3. All right, if one worker is chosen at random, find the odds that the worker is not in manufacturing. All right, not in manufacturing, that's what's favorable. So you'd be looking at this one, and this one. I would add those because that's what's not in manufacturing. That's what's favorable for this one. All right, so 2522 plus 10,852 plus 122,521. All right, here's what's favorable. Okay, now what's unfavorable is that they are in manufacturing, which would be this number right here, 16438. And there's my odds. Okay. All right, here's another one. Now, this one here, this table shows the education level for the 40 employees at a local investment company. Use the table to find the odds that an employee chosen at random has the given education level. All right, so here's our education levels. All right, now we got to realize here, these are in order. So like high school degree, your diploma, then you got a bachelor's degree, then you got an MBA, which is your master's of business administration. Then you have a master's degree, law degree, and then you have a PhD. So these, as you go down, they get bigger. Okay, and there's 40 altogether here. Okay, now this says number 1, find the odds an employee has a bachelor's degree. All right, there's 7 that have bachelor's degrees, so that's what's favorable. Now, unfavorable, well, since there's 40, I just subtract 7, that'd be 33. And there's my odds. Okay, what about this next one? Find the odds the employee has an MBA or a master's. All right, MBA or master's would be these two, which would be 20 plus 3, 23. That's what's favorable here. Now, what's not favorable is all the other ones. So, since there's 40 altogether, I can just subtract 23, which gives me 17. Okay, and then this last one, find the odds that the employee does not have an MBA. All right, does not have an MBA would be this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And if it's all but this one, this is not favorable now. What's favorable is to be one of these other ones, which if I just do 40 minus 20, I get 20 of those. Now, what's unfavorable is that they do have an MBA for this one. So that'd be 20 to 20, and that simplifies 1 to 1. Oh, that's not on there. Okay, there it is. So, again, I think you might have seen what I was doing this, but there's 20 that's favorable, and there's this 20 here that's not favorable for this problem. I need to pay attention to my screen a little bit better. All right, one last one here. Now, in this one, use a frequency distribution below, which shows the number of voters in millions according to age to find the odds that a voter chosen at random is in the given range. Or here's the ages of voters, and here's the frequency. Okay? Find the odds that the voter chosen is 18 to 20 years of age. All right, 18 to 20 is right here, 5.3. That's what's favorable. Okay? What's unfavorable would be all these other ones. So I'm going to have to add them up. So I got 10.7 plus 23.3 plus 23.5 plus 55.3 plus 26.8, and that gives me 139.6. All right, now we know this should simplify because they're decimals. So I'll just type this in, 5.3 divided by 139.6. I just type it in, I get this decimal, and then I just change it to a fraction. And there you go, 53 over 1396. So happy. And if you notice, basically it just moves this decimal over 1 for each one of them. See that? Move this over, 53. Move this over, 1396. All right, number 2. Find the odds that the voter chosen is 35 years of age or older. 35 or older. Okay, now look here. 35 or older would consist of all 3 of these. Those are favorable. Because see, that's 35, 45, 65. Those are all 35 and over. So I would add those. That's what's favorable. So 23.5 plus 55.3 plus 26.8. And I get this, 105.6. Now what's not favorable are these 3. So 5.3 plus 10.7 plus 23.3. And that's 39.3. That's what's not favorable. So this is favorable, that's unfavorable. And of course, I think if you just move the decimal over, and there you go. We don't usually want decimals in our odds. Now, one last one here. Find the odds that a voter chosen is not 65 years of age and over. Is not this right here. So this now is unfavorable. So I need to add all these up. These are favorable. All right, so 5.3 plus 10.7 plus 23.3 plus 23.5 plus 55.3, and when I add all them up, I get 118.1. Oops, 118.1. That's what's favorable. What's not favorable is being 65 years of age over, because we don't want those. So that's not favorable. That'd be 26.8. And then of course we'll take the decimals out. Just move them over 1181, 268, and there you go. There's my odds. Okay, so that's finding odds versus probabilities, and if you need any help, just let me know. I'll help you all I can. Have a good rest of the day.